before we get into this video, I just want to give one of my all-time best mates, Kurt, a shout-out. Kurt produces his own music, and he has actually allowed me to use some of his tracks throughout my video here. He really does have some sick sounds on there, so do go and check him out.
Why so sad, Kurt?
At around 7 o'clock that morning, we hit the road and began our 5.5-hour journey up to Loch Ness, where our hotel for that night was. Driving through the very top of England, the weather was really not ideal, but as soon as we passed over into Scotland, believe it or not, that weather actually turned into blistering sunshine. It was absolutely beautiful up there. We have arrived at our place for the night. How was that drive?
Long.
I haven't even stopped the engine. But yeah, this is it. Nice and out of the way. But we're also just a short walk from the lock, so. We arrived at our hotel at roughly 2:30 that afternoon. The hotel itself was lovely. It was a 15-minute walk away from the lock. We couldn't actually check in until 3:30, so we both decided it would be wise to grab a small baggage, and we headed straight down to the lock. As I said, we really looked out on the weather. It was scorching, so we decided to go straight down for a swim, picking up a ice cold pint on the way. This is our lovely hotel room with the one and only stun Robin Buckingham in the corner there. Man, damn, she's cute. Not too crazy going on, but so we are in our hotel at the moment, and they've got this bar. It's just a small bar, but this is their different types of whiskies that they serve. There's absolutely loads. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna go for. Now, I just want to talk about this whiskey wall for a second. I thought it was absolutely incredible. The amount of different drinks they had behind that bar compared to the size that bar actually was just crazy. They had 101 different bottles of whiskey behind there, and each one of them was there. You could buy it. None of them were missing. It was all there. Now, I believe I went for, I think it was the Glen Garroich, I think. Now, forgive me if my pronunciation there is wrong. That 100% will have been wrong. It was meant to have tasted of butterscotch and buttercream, and in my opinion, it didn't taste a thing like that. It was still a nice drink, but it didn't taste nothing like that in my opinion. One last thing I want to say is I asked about the whiskey, the 101 whiskey there. I asked how much that would cost me for a glass, and that would have set me back £400 for a single glass of that whiskey. So yeah, I said she could keep that one. Now, if you know me, you know that recently I've really gotten into my cars and such, and overnight it seems that a beautiful Audi R8 has decided they want to come and plonk itself right next to me, which I was very happy about, and decided to snap a little pic there. Now, yeah, that's beside the point. We hit the road and we headed down to our first official destination of the NC500, which was the Fairy Glen Falls. So we're currently at Fairy Glen Falls. Robin's trying not to fall in there. She loves the waterfall, she does. Next up, we headed over to the Black Isle Brewing Company. Now, if you know me, you know I'm well into my beers, so this really was a must visit. Now, most craft beers, ales, IPAs, things such as that, they will usually set me back about £4 to £6 a can. Now, that's a pretty heavy price, but you know, you'll pay what you'll pay. Now, the beers at this place, for the smaller 330ml cans, they were going for roughly £1.80 per can, and for the bigger ones, depending on the percentage, it was normally around £3 per can. The most expensive tin they had was £6, and this was a 10% beer, so you know, fair enough. But all in all, I spent about £30 and I came out with 12 tins of beer. It was a glorious day for me, and let me tell you, the beer by no means was of shoddy quality. These really were some delicious beers that I enjoyed all the way around the NC500. Robin is now insured for an hour in the 86. Let's see
Toot toot.
how this goes. Go on. You need to hold the clutch down. I'll let you know how it goes later. It was safe to say that the 86 had indeed been tamed by Robin. She was dishing out the gaps where possible, and all in all, she just looked damn good driving that car. Anyway, with Robin behind the wheel, driving at approximately 350 miles an hour, we hurtled towards our next stop, which was the Walligo Steps, driving through some absolutely stunning scenery along the way. Currently just making a little bit of food. Got our pro chef down here doing some hot dogs. But not the point, look at this view. Absolutely stunning. The Walligo Steps really were quite a sight to behold, especially on such a beautiful day. Once we'd had our fill of sun down there, we headed back up and went to John O'Groats. So here we are at John O'Groats, our final stop for the day. It's lovely here. See right out. All the Scottish Isles that way. And then a lovely building site over there. John O'Groats was a lovely place, and it was most definitely the most touristy place we visited on our trip. But in terms of stuff to do there wasn't actually that much, so we grabbed that obvious famous picture with the sign, had a look around the shops, grabbed a coffee and a bite to eat, and we headed off to find somewhere to camp for that night. It's meant to be super easy to do wild camping in Scotland, but so far we're having absolutely no luck. So back into the car we go, and I guess we're gonna drive up a little bit more.
We got this.
Throughout an hour of looking around, we've finally settled on a place we have. So we've parked up here, but we're going to be camping down on that little, I don't know what you'd call it, a bay maybe. So yeah, we'll get set up there. Look at that attire we got going on right now. It's the swaggiest swag ever. But I am tired, I am hungry. It's time for scran and beers. So it is now the next morning. We managed to find somewhere to camp, although it wasn't too ideal, was it? The ground was kind of puffy, but we had a awesome view. A very awesome view, it has to be said. So the plan is get packed up. We're gonna drive back to John O'Groats, and then we're gonna go to Duncansby Head, and then go to, is it not the Head and then you go to the Stacks?
We went to the Head yesterday.
Ah, and we're going to Duncansby Stacks. There's literally no wind at all, and it's honestly quite warm. So we're now here at the Duncansby Stacks, and it's quite the sight to behold. I'm gonna get the drone out, get some sick footage. My god, that is high. That is Getch 1-2. So we've had a wee stop off at Dunnet Head. Yeah, I mean...
Should we climb this fence?
You want to? Do you reckon we can? I feel bad when there's people around. I feel like I'm being judged. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool here. It's no, as I said, it's no Duncansby Stacks, but some cool cliffs. Cute.
Pretty cute.
So that final stop there really concluded our journeys up the east side of the North Coast 500, and we will now work our way along the very top of the North Coast 500, travelling over to the west side. We came across this little beach. It wasn't anything to look at compared to one of the beaches I'm going to show you in a bit, but yeah, it was a good time, it was cute. So we've just arrived at St Mary's Chapel. It is, I don't know, an old chapel, I guess. Oh, she's off. Oh, wow.
Mary.
Is that St Mary herself?
Hey, chick. You alright?
1872.
Cute.
Aged 3.5.
Whoa.
Bloody hell.
Oh, this is the spare bedroom.
Anyway, what are you wanting to talk about?
A shiwi. If you've got a vulva and you need a wee out in the wilderness, you should get a shiwi. I always thought they were a waste of time, but it has saved my life on this trip.
Is it just like a portable dick?
I would show you it, but I've been urinating through it, so that doesn't feel right.
Lovely.
But yeah, it's just a spout that attaches to your vulva, and then you can urinate.
These people died young. Oh, no, he had a good life. He was 83.
Good.
Go him. 73. And then 2. Yeah. Anyway, we have some time to make up now. I think we're going to have a good solid couple hours driving along the top. We're going to try and get to Smook Caves. Or not Smook Caves. It's on the first place on the itinerary for tomorrow.
Get close to it.
Yeah, we'll get close to it, find somewhere to camp up for the night. We found the most awesome little butchers in this town. I'll clip in a video of that showing some of the scran they had to offer there. I got a macaroni and cheese pie. It was lovely. They had lasagna pies and stuff. Not really heard of them before, but yeah, banging. What did you get?
Scotch pie.
Scotch pie.
Well, to be fair, we probably should have got haggis, but it was quite expensive. It was like £8.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're on a budget. We're travelling on a budget here. I can't get this robot. Oh my god. Saint Mary.
Saint Mary help.
Oh, Mr. Sheep.
Hey dude. You're lovely, aren't you? Size of them nuts, oh lad. Gonads on them.
Oh, look at his hooves. Are they called hooves?
I guess so. You're a smart dude. After we'd visited St Mary's Chapel, we decided to get a bit ground under us. We travelled through some absolutely stunning scenery and on some awesome fast roads as well. Once we landed in a place called Far, we decided that would be our home for the night. We got our pots and pans washed and then we set up camp. So we have camped up for night 3, technically?
Night 3, camp 2.
Night 3, and we've got quite the setup this time. Found this little place out of the way. Got Chef Robin on the decks here. Picked up some burgers from that butcher's I was on about, and the car is in spitting distance. Take a wee walk over here. Now this was easily our most successful night of wild camping. Any wild camping that took place after this night was, in my opinion, quite horrific. I'll explain more on that later, but yeah, it was a lovely location. One of the locals even came down. I thought he was going to come down and tell us to f*** off, but he actually came down. We had a bit of crap for about 15 minutes. And yeah, anyway, we then went to bed and we got ready for the next day. Now, driving into the tippy top of the west coast, we were met with some absolutely amazing scenery, which honestly, the cameras really don't do it justice. You can't quite get the scale of all of the different mountain tips and such that you can see. Every car you'd pass, there'd be someone with the hand sticking right out the window, getting pictures of all of the scenery around. It was really quite breathtaking driving through there. But yeah, our first stop that day, I believe it was actually unplanned, but it was a lovely beach with the most crystal clear blue water I'd ever seen. Absolutely unreal beach. There's a zip line that's usually open, if you can see it at the top there, that you can fly down, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's open today. So we'll give it a miss. Never know, might come back another time, do it again. But yeah, I'll put yours back on when we get closer to this beach. I don't know if you can tell, but that water is like crystal blue. Robin's a big beach fan, absolutely loves the beach. You're in your element right now?
Yeah, I feel like when you take the dog to the beach. Now I just went on.
She's off a lead, look at her go.
Why so sad, Kurt? Right, so in terms of a good place to explore, I love a cave.
I absolutely love a cave, and I mean, I think this might be the mother of all caves.
The mother of all caves?
Yeah, the Moke.
No.
That waterfall was the Boston sweaters.
Oh.
Nice off. She's the Boston water too.
Well, that's an anticlimax.
I mean,
So usually in this cave there's a great big waterfall coming straight down from the roof, but due to the absolutely incredible weather we'd been having, there was just nothing there at all. So in all of the videos we've seen this magical looking bit at the back, and nobody has ever tried to climb up it. So yeah, we'll oh, they're empty. Yeah. Alright then. That was short-lived. So we are having our first meal of the day, and we went into a shop and we grabbed some beetroot and goat's cheese pasta that looks absolutely banging. We also made the mission over to a place called Coca Mountain, which is meant to be the greatest hot chocolate in the world. Not gonna lie,
pretty good.
pretty bang, man. Pretty good.
Would recommend.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We thought we'd have a mission into an art gallery as well, and the sign on the door was very welcoming, but the dude inside, I would say, with anything but. Robin's got this badge on her bum bag that was it says the future is female, and this dude just got really defensive about it, didn't he?
He was really mean.
He was. It was like
He got very political about some things that happen around the world, but did not understand that you can recognise more than one tragedy.
yeah. It just wasn't something we were expecting, and he was really defensive about it. So if you end up seeing this, maybe next time leave it out, because most people who are on this trip aren't here for those types of conversations.
And he said, so I said I don't really want to have this conversation and went to go leave, and he said maybe the future shouldn't be female then, because I didn't want to have a conversation about something very political on holiday.
So driving through the Highlands was honestly absolutely breathtaking. I was constantly in awe at everything I was seeing. It just felt like a completely different planet, to be honest with you. On the downside, Scotland had decided to throw some of its good old-fashioned weather straight at us. It was fairly coming down. It was getting late at this point as well, so we were really wanting to try and find somewhere to camp up. We ended up stopping at a candle shop of all places to get a quick bite to eat. They did all kind of natural, like shampoo bars, soap bars, candles obviously, but we also got a lovely bowl of smoked salmon with some oatcakes and cream cheese. So yeah. We have landed at our next stop, which is Achmelvich Beach. We were hunting for a hostel and stumbled upon this. We took a 20-minute detour to find this hostel, and they are closed till next year. No signs, but loads of signs to tell us that it is open. That's fun. But anyway, found a lovely beach and a lovely robin.
Hey everyone.
So at this point now, it's around 6, half 6. We left the beach, and as we were doing so, the weather took another turn for the worst. We realised that it would not be a logical thing to camp that night, so we were on the hunt for a hotel and a bed and breakfast. Now, up in Scotland, their restrictions are still extremely tight on COVID. You still need masks to go in everywhere. Everywhere was locked down, reservations only, so we were turned away from the vast majority of places. We were about to bite the bullet and just gonna go and set the tent up in the rain and just deal with it. But just before we were gonna do that, we passed this little house that wasn't online yet, and it said they had vacancies for their B&B. So we pulled in and we went and spoke to the couple there. We have hit absolute luxury. So the time is currently 7 o'clock. It's been raining all day. I've driven some of the craziest roads. Robin has also driven some of the craziest roads I've ever driven on. I've got to admit, the scenery has just been absolutely stunning. But it's been cold, and when I say it's been raining, it has been absolutely chucking down some fierce. We were about to just bite the bullet. We've been looking for a place to stay. But we've not been able to find anywhere at all until now. We found this lovely little B&B. It's I'm gonna recharge all of our kit. Got the drone battery on the go, phones on the go. Gonna get the battery packs on the go, and car's nice and safe right next to the house. Yeah, I think we've hit lucky here. Aye. So I think tomorrow morning we're going to go and explore something called the Bone Caves. We're going to go and have to put a tank of fuel in the car though, getting a bit low. So yeah, we'll check in later. So it is now the next morning. We are pretty much fully recharged on all the gear. Battery packs are good to go. Phone's still a bit dead. Drone's good to go. We are fresh, about to get a banging full English and blue skies. So we're just on our way up to the Bone Caves, and we've come across this little river that just kind of protrudes from the ground. So what actually happens is the underground caves, they all push the water up, and then it all just basically originates from here and forms a river all the way down. It's pretty awesome. So after a half-hour walk, about a half-hour walk, maybe 45, we are here at the Bone Caves. The caves run all along the side of this cliff here. Let's take a look. Oh, rip. Wow, there's an actual human shit right there. That's pretty gross. Wow. Let me get a... Oh wow, another shit. Holy hell. Should we call the poo caves?
My glasses
Whew.
are stinging.
We've been scoping out different beaches today to try and find which one shall house us for the evening. We had a bit of a scare at the last one. I dropped my car keys, and it was the only pair we had, and our phones, our wallets, and literally everything we had with us bar this GoPro and ourselves were in the car. That was a fun time, wasn't it?
It was terrifying, but I found the keys.
So we made the decision that the beach you're seeing here was the beach we were going to stay on for the night. At the time, little did we know that this was the worst mistake we made this entire trip.
This is absolutely fucking crackers. Oh my god. Oh then. Cool.
So we went in for a dip with our wetsuits. It was absolutely freezing, hence the wetsuits. And then we got ourselves dried off and we bunkered down for the night and started to chill out, made some food and got into bed.
Last night was only... wow. It was literally like something out of a horror movie. So turns out on beaches there's these little things called springtails, and they will show themselves if you disturb their habitat. I'll punch a picture of what they look like in right now. Now, we didn't really know about it at first, but I got a bit concerned when it sounded like it was raining really heavily on our little tap we have outside of our tent to keep the sand out. But it wasn't raining on the tent. Anyway, as more time passed, rain got heavier. And yeah, it turns out what we could actually hear was thousands of... yeah, you see that little fucker there jumping about? Was thousands of them guys all up in here. They'd gotten in through there. And I went to the toilet, left that open, left this open, didn't realise. I came back, closed it up, and we were surrounded by these little bastards, so we ran and slept in the car. That was fun. So it's like 7 o'clock now, we came back down and we're dealing with this shit, and let me tell you, it's rotten. The vast majority of them are now gone, but
Every time you move something big, they jump out of the darkness.
yeah, they jump out and try and attack you. So at least this is a problem we found, that if you're going to do this, you don't have to. Don't camp on beaches, guys. It's not the grandest idea. Had a good time in our wetsuit, so that was fun. Anyway, we're going to get this shit sorted out and we'll be back later. Also, have a look at the lovely view.
Look at the sun. Oh, it's gone now. It's behind that cloud.
Yeah.
So luckily, after that awful night, we were able to recover all of our belongings, but any food we had open in the tent at the time had to be chucked out, as it was just covered in this disgusting weird shit. And we gave the tent and everything a good clean down, and then we packed it all away in the car. And yeah, we decided that night we would try and find a campsite and have a bit more of a comfortable night's sleep, because let me tell you, a Toyota GT86 is not designed to be slept in at all. So yeah, we hit the road and we made way for Applecross.
So we're just on our way through to Applecross, and we thought we'd come and pull in and admire the views. And this dude's just chilling here. No, doesn't give a single shit. So after last night's infestation story, we've decided to get a spot at a campsite tonight with laundry, Wi-Fi, power.
We're gonna debug everything because I feel like there's critters crawling on all of our stuff. So we're gonna get everything washed and nice and fresh, ready for Skye, and feel free of bugs because we both feel pretty itchy right now.
Yeah, the time is, it's 20 to 12 at the moment, so we'll get set up, we'll get washed up, and then I think we'll go and take some walks around this area, because my lord, it's quite a stunning place. Maybe we'll see another deer. Was that a deer?
A deer.
It was a deer.
What do
Okay.
you think it was?
I don't know. But yeah.
Cow, Highland cow. Do
Sure.
you see Highland cow?
Until next time.
So we used that day just to sort ourselves out, clean off all of our stuff, recharge some batteries, get showered down, all of that grand stuff. We had a quick walk around the local area, but all in all, we didn't really get up to too much. Robin made some banging scran on the night, and at around, I'd say, 5 o'clock, we had our first experience of the midges that they have in Scotland. And let me tell you something, those are hardcore. They do not around up there. They're like little dragons, to be honest with you. Yeah, they were not a fun experience at all. If you're doing this trip, you need to prepare for these little because they will up your day. So yeah, in Scotland, if it's not the springtails, it's the midges. So yeah, prepare for that. Anyway, we got up the next morning and we headed for the Black Nabar, which is the most dangerous road on this massive land.
So we haven't seen any Highland cows yet until now. And my lord, look at this dude. Look at this fluffy boy. You scran that grass, my friend. Hello. Anyway, next up is I believe we're gonna go through the Applecross Pass. So some sketchy driving coming up.
So we made our way up through the hills or mountains of Applecross, and we were now on the verge of descending from the Applecross Pass, also known as the Black Nabar. Now, this is the most dangerous road on this massive land, as I have said many times before. It is a small single track little piece of road, but it takes you through some of the most amazing scenery that I've ever seen. Yeah, so just watch and you'll see exactly what it was like. It was amazing.
Just finishing the Black Nabar, the most dangerous road in this on this landmass, and my god, it is stunning. Look at the mountain tips over there.
So that really was our last stop on the North Coast 500, really. From there, we hightailed it straight down to Skye, and we had a look about and started planning what we were going to do down there.
So we have arrived in Skye. We've been here for about 3-4 hours. The first thing we did was we went down to the ferry pools, and my god, there must have been about 200 cars and 50 camper vans there, and there's a lovely £5 charge on it. Ooh. But anyway, we've camped up for the night, and this is where we're gonna be. What a view, what a view. Hell yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I think I can just about start feel rain right now, but oh well. Right, probably not going to do much recording in Skye because this SD card currently has about 2 minutes of footage left on it.
So I'm going to keep the end of this as short as possible. So first in Skye, we visited the fairy pools, which was just amazing. I think Robin said this was actually her favourite place of the entire trip. She can drop in the comments if she thinks otherwise. But yeah, it was the scenery was absolutely amazing here. So once we finished over at the fairy pools, we headed over to a place called the Store. Now, in terms of walks, this was 100% my favourite walk of the entire trip. I love rocky scenery, and this place was just amazing. I'm gonna chuck a few pictures in that I managed to capture while I was up there as well, because at the end of this video my SD card it was actually it was full, and I couldn't do anything else, so the rest of this footage was actually taken on my phone. So the last stop on our journey was the Fairy Glen, which I'm going to be putting some pictures and videos in of now. It was quite a strange place, but it looked amazing. The ground just seemed to kind of jump up at you. So yeah, we had a quick wander around here, and once we were all done there, we settled in for our final night. If you've gotten this far through the video, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I can do more stuff like this in the future. Cheers.